Hello and welcome to another episode of Drunk Game Retellings. As always, I'm your host Jack, and today my friend Erin will be doing a drunk retelling of A Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds that was available for the 3DS. And then she and I will have a tipsy discussion of said game, along with some other topics during our tipsy talk of A Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. So without further ado, take it away, Erin.
This is Erin, and this is a drunk game retelling of The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS game. Okay, so Link is a dude. Okay, wait. You wake up as Link. Do you wake up as Link? You wake up as Link and you're late because apparently you suck at your job. And you go to the blacksmith's house because he's your master. You're his apprentice. It's not weird. And he's like, bitch, you're late. Oh, can I swear? Bitch, you're late. And you're like, oh, sorry, bro, I slept. And then he gives you a sword to take to the castle for the king. And you're like, sweet deal, let's go. And so you go to the castle to give the sword to the king, but then there's this dude there who I thought was a lady for like half of the game, whose name is Yuga, because that's a lady name, that's not even a man name. So his name is Yuga, and he like, you're somewhere, and he in the castle, and he like traps the princess in a painting, and then the princess, though, Zelda is the princess. Zelda gave you a cufflink thing that's really ugly. It's like in Mean Girls, the bracelet that Katie wears, and Regina George is like, I love your bracelet. Where did you get it? And she really means it's fucking ugly. Well, this is like that. That cuff looks like that. Except when Yuga tries to turn you into a painting, you can move in the walls as a painting because of the bracelet. So anyway, so that happens, and Yuga's like, you are a little twat, get out of my way. And he like wanders off into the world, and you have to go save people. And so to save people, you have to go get the pendants of power and wisdom, but you already have the pendant of courage. But you have to go get power and wisdom from the dungeon things. So you go do that, and you're like, woohoo, get the pendant, yay! Ravio, it's not Link, it's not Zelda that gives you the bracelet. It's this weird little dude, Ravio, like ravioli, but without the oli, without the loli. Anyway, Ravio gives you the bracelet that turns you into being able to walk in paintings. And Ravio's this dude that there's a twist later, and I'll get to that. But he gives you stuff. And so then you get all the like pendant things, and you go back, and oh wait, the guy didn't turn Zelda into a painting first. First the guy turns this girl into a painting, and then you go find the pendants to save her, but you can't save her because when you get back to the castle after you found the pendants, then Yuga is there, and he's a bitch, and he turns Zelda into the painting. That's what happens. That's when he turned you into a painting, but Ravioli's bracelet lets you merge with the walls and stuff, so you're safe. You're okay. You now have this power. It's really cool. But Yuga turns Zelda into painting and whisks her away and takes away himself, and you're like, the fuck do you do? Well, this is what you do. There's a crack in the wall that's like glowing black rainbows, and you merge with the wall, and you get into the rainbows, and you go into the crack, and it turns out you're actually in Low-Rule. So first you're in Hyrule. Hyrule is like where you exist as a thing. I was gonna say human being, but he's not really a human being, I don't think. I don't know. He's a thing. So you're in Hyrule first. And then you go through the black rainbow crack, and you're in Low-Rule. which is like an opposite reality dimension. It's another thing that's low rule that looks like yours but is different. That's usually how alternate reality dimension things go. So you're there and you're like, oh man, what am I gonna do? Low rule is like falling apart and stuff. So there are like cracks and crevices and canyons that you can't cross in low rule. But you can go, there are dimension black rainbow cracks and like all over the place. And so you go through them and it takes you to the parallel place in Hyrule for you to like then go around and go places. So this is how you traverse the brokenness of low rule. But okay, so you're in low rule and you have to save the 7 sages. So the 7 sages are like gonna save the world or something like that. But they're all trapped in paintings because Yuga's a bitch. And he traps them all in paintings. So you have to go save them as Link. And you get into low rule. And you hear in your voice or maybe over the whole world. I don't really know. It's like a cutscene and you see this lady. Or sometimes the text box just pops up. And her name is Princess Hilda. Like Zelda, but Hilda. It's different because it's a different reality. And she is like, welcome, save us. Please help, I'll help you. I'm the ruler of low rule. Yay me. Except there's a twist, which I'll get to. And so you're like, okay, what do I have to do? And you end up having to go to 7 different dungeons to save all the sages. So, like, the bitchy part about this game is that to use the different dungeons, you have to have different items. But you don't own the items until you're fucking rich. You have to make a lot of money. The money's like, what is the money called? The money's called rupees. Not dollars, not cents, not, mana or magica or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's called rupees. So you have to make 1 million rupees, basically, and you have to buy all these items that you need. And the bitch fuck thing is if you don't buy them, you can rent them, but if you die, you lose them. So that makes doing the dungeons in low rule really hard, because I die a lot, as I hope other people do. So you have to, like, keep renting things, which is annoying. But so each of the dungeons, you have to have an item, and the item lets you get to the dungeons, like, exist and succeed and kill shit. And so you have to go through each of the 7 dungeons, and they're hard. They can be really hard sometimes. And there are bosses that you have to fight in each of them, and that's a thing that happens. So once you get, and you have to, like, go back and forth between high rule and low rule to get to all the different dungeons and all the different places, because sometimes the cracks in sometimes you can't get across the big crevasses of low rule, so you have to get into high rule, go where you want to go in low rule, and then go find a crack in the area, which is kind of a pain sometimes. But you do that, and when you're in low rule, your colors are weird. You're not green and blonde. I don't know, I can't remember what you are, but you're not green and blonde. You look funky. And so you do the 7 dungeons, and then you're like, yes, now I have to go save Zelda and restore the world. And you're like, yeah. And so you go to Low Rule Castle, which is obviously the opposite of High Rule Castle. So you go to Low Rule Castle, and when you're there, you're like, shit, because Yuga gets the a Triforce of power. But Hilda shows up, or is there, and she traps Yuga. Oh wait, no, this is before you say the 7 sages. He has a Triforce though. Yuga has a Triforce. a piece of a Triforce or something like that. He has a triangle of 3 triangles. Okay, so you defeat the 7 sages, but then you find the 7 sages. You don't defeat them. You like them. They're your friends. They're your buddies. You probably go drinking with them if you're old enough. I don't know how old Link is. Anyway, so Lorule Castle, you're there. It turns out that Hilda is a bitch. She's a bad guy. She is trying to steal the Triforce because she is scared for her reality of Lorule, because it is crumbling and it is falling apart, and this is sad, and she wants a Triforce so that she can save it. And you're like, oh no, stop, Hilda. So Hilda uses Yuga to try and get Link's Triforce, because Link has a Triforce. But as Link, you're like, poo, 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 and you defeat Yuga. And this is important because then you have to go save Zelda and Hilda, because Yuga makes Hilda a painting. But you go save them both and turn them back into human ladies. I think they're human. And Hilda's really bitter. And she's like, ugh, I hate you people. But then Ravio shows up. Dun dun dun. And he is actually Lorule's version of Link. And so he's Lorule's version of Link. And he's like, Hilda, the Triforce isn't the way to go. This is bad. We need to work together and just let go of life. He's very Zen Buddhist, actually. He's like, let go. Time is ending, kind of. He's Link's counterpart, and he convinces her that you can't steal Hyrule's true Triforce, and really, he helped Link get to this point of seeing this, and so Zelda and Link take their Triforce home, and they get a wish. Whoever touches it gets a wish. And they both wish for Lorule to be happy and restored. And that is so exciting. And Hilda is so confused and so happy. And after that, Link's like, yeah, I did it. And he puts he got the Master Sword at some point. He gets the Master Sword. He's like, Pachoo! Sorcerer in the Stone type shit. And he gets the Master Sword out of the rock. The stone, I suppose. And after his quest is over, he goes back to the stone. And he's like, here, Master Sword. This is where you really belong. And he goes, Pachoo! And he puts the sword back in the stone. And that's kind of the opposite of what you want to do with that. But he does it. And then you're like, yay! The end! Happiness. Oh, am I supposed to talk about gameplay too? I didn't listen to the last one. Okay. Gameplay. I don't even know what that means. We're gonna have to just edit this a little bit, because you typing is not helping me. I'm sufficiently whined. I'm wined and not dined. What do you mean, how do you play it? How do you play it? We're gonna chop something. Chop, 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 chop. How do we play it? I play it with my hands. Okay, so so as the player, you are Link. Obviously, apparently Link is the apparently Link is the character of all Zelda games that you as a human being who is playing the game play. Okay, so you're like walking around, you're like poo poo poo, and then you have your sword. Okay, because the king was like, well, the king, like, I don't know what happened to the king. I don't remember if he gets turned into a painting or if he just poofs or if he like gets trapped in a closet or something. I don't know. But you have his sword and you're like, I'm going to keep this. And so you have to kill things and you go and you push A lot. And so you do that and okay, in the 7 Sages dungeons, there are 7. I already said that. There are 7 dungeons, 7 sages. And like I said, you need different items for different dungeons. And like, one of the items is a fire rod, and you have to burn shit all the fucking time. You know what dungeon needs the fire rod? The ice dungeon. No shit. You know what dungeon needs the ice rod? Fire dungeon. Duh. That one's cool. Oh, that one's cool because to get there, you have to help some turtles out. Because there are some sad turtle babies that are stuck in different parts of like the sea lake thing. And Mama Turtle's like, please help me with my babies. And you're like, okay. And you help. And then she carries you around. You get to walk up the turtles. And she carries you around. And that's how you get to the fire dungeon that you need the ice rod for. And that's pretty cool. That was a cool one. I like that one. And then the sand one was hard. So there's one that requires you to have this thing called the sand rod. There are a lot of rods in Zelda. It's apparently a very rod-centric game. So you have to have the sand rod, and it conjures up blocks of sand when you're like, but it needs sand to function. And so you have to, and the sand falls apart because sand's not very stable, believe it or not. So you have to have the sand rod to traverse that. And there's one that you have to have bombs for. So you have to be able to like pick up and throw bombs when you are playing the game. And it helps like unlock stuff. And there are other things that are like there's a grappling hook. You need the grappling hook for stuff because you have to like pull yourself. But here's the problem is that when you use these special items or when you merge into the wall, because remember you can merge into the wall because you're a painting, you have a little meter and your little meter runs out kind of fast. And so you have to like be really strategic about how you use your meter, which is important. And also there's this really cool little side game. I didn't play a lot of side games when I played this game because who's got time for that? I don't. Except for the adorable octopus shell little sea creatures who are called like the my-mice. My-mice. It's kind of like the seagulls in Finding Nemo. Say my. But anyway, these are cute. They're my-mice. And they're these little creatures, and somehow they got spread all over High and Low Rule. I think that Mama Mai probably like jumped into the bathtub or something and exploded them all out into the world. I don't know how they got around. So you have to find them, and they squeak at you, and so you'll just be like casually walking around and hear. And you'll hear these little squeaks, and it's really disorienting the first time you hear it, and you're like trying to find them, and some of them are stuck to the wall, and so you have to merge with the wall, and then get in front of them, and then pop out of the wall, which pops them off of the wall, which I feel like is very uncomfortable for all parties involved. But I suppose I don't really know, because I've never popped out of a wall to get a my off the wall in my personal life. And so you have to do that. But what's really fun is that for every 10 my, which is the cutest name, they're so cute too. They're pink and tentacly and adorable. And they have really pretty shells on them. And when you turn in 10 of them, you get to improve an item, which is very exciting. I don't know if that actually did anything. I improved a lot of items. I think I found like 50 my-mice throughout when I played it. And so I guess that means I improved 5 items. But I think that I probably did not even notice the effects of them because I don't know. I used them anyway. I don't know. So those are the my-mice. They're adorbs. And yeah, that's a link, Zelda, a link between worlds. That's the legend of Zelda. The legend. Why is it a legend if she's just the princess? I don't understand that. I suppose I will have to play other Legend of Zelda games to know the Legend of Zelda. Anyway, that's Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds, Drunk game telling, retelling, story time with Erin. Bye.
Hello and welcome to Tipsy Talk. As always, I'm your host Jack, and with me today is my pal Erin, who you just heard earlier.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty swell. You know, it's holiday week. You know, it's everything's getting all festive. So what better than to drink beer and talk about video games and or books? We'll see what goes from here.
Right. It's like 70 degrees here. It's perfect beer weather down in Texas, at least.
Yeah, it's 70 over here in Memphis. So perfect winter weather. You know, perfect time of the year. Just stay inside or outside and just drink beers until you feel maybe a little less hot.
Exactly.
That's the way to do it. That's the way we always envision winter, you know. I think we should just update all these holiday classics. Everyone should just wear like hot pants.
Right?
And just tan and this like Frosty do the same thing. Like it's not even that he melts from like the heat. It's too cold. He just has a bad tan line.
Exactly.
That's how it's gonna go.
Holiday remix.
Yeah. So for today we're talking about the game that you actually played in your show Game and Read, as Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just kind of start us off. Was this your first Zelda game you've ever played?
Yes, it was. I played some of a Zelda game. I have no idea which one. When I was a kid, we had I think a Super Nintendo, and we had a Zelda game, and sometimes I would, stick it in and play it, but I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I think that one is A Link to the Past.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's really fitting though, because this game is considered a sequel to that game.
Oh,
so kind of full circle. This has all been planned out. Yeah.
Yeah, fate or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first Zelda game I have actually played.
Wow, that's really great. And judging by your Game and Read episode, which if you listeners at home, if you've not watched it, go do that right now. It's a great episode, great show. But you said you liked the game?
I did. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know a lot about Zelda, I think that everyone knows at least something about Zelda.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be totally overrated. It'll be fine, whatever. But it ended up being really fun. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I will play another one someday.
They're neat games. I've been playing them since I was a kid. But the thing is that when it came to like the Super Nintendo, those 2D Zeldas, I never really liked them as much as the 3D. That may have just been personal preference. Maybe I just like blocky polygons more than spread. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Your bulky polygon boat, I suppose.
Yeah. But I really liked this one. I don't know, maybe if it's just older, I appreciate the style more, but I think it just lends itself to be a really fun portable game.
Yeah, it was awesome to have it on my DS and to just like walk around the apartment if I needed things.
Yeah.
Just like there was no, okay, I have to pause and then get up and go get something to drink or whatever. Just bring it with me. Just keep going.
Yeah, it's a fun game. Did you happen to have like any favorite parts of it that you can recall top of your head?
Oh man, I really liked the side quest of finding the little, I think they were the Mai.
Yes, the cute little octopus.
I thought that was so fun. And it was like, I don't usually play video games with the volume on if it's not like, if the words aren't spoken, if it's just background music, I usually just leave the volume off. But I intentionally turned up the volume whenever I got that quest so that I could hear the little squeaks around to try to find them. So that was super fun. I also really liked some of the dungeons, the ice dungeon. You have to have the fire wand or whatever, and you just burn shit.
Yes.
And it's like, how I can't go wrong because I just have to fire at
I
things.
mean, it's really cool. Like having just like a wand is just
Yeah.
cool. I mean, it's I've always liked wands since Harry Potter, so it's just anything gives me magic, I'm in.
Oh, I love Magic. Every game I have the option to play Magic and especially Fire, I'm in.
It's the
I'm
best.
totally in. So I played Skyrim for one of our past Game and Read episodes, and I had to force myself not to be a Magic user. So, like, this is what I do every single time I play a game. And try something different.
I mean, it's okay. Playing favorites works so well. I mean, fire is the best spell.
Yes.
I mean, ice is nice as second place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to put ice somewhere. You know, you have to give it the silver medal. Just
right.
Just you tried. You're not fire. Good. Oh well.
Good try.
Yeah. Oh well. Good. And then there's like the sand. Out of nowhere the sand wand.
That was I hated that. It was you had to have your timing right, and it was awkward, and yeah.
It's a really, I guess it's a really weird like trio. It's like I don't know, when I think of like three elements, that would pair well with fire and ice. I don't think sand.
Yeah, right.
Just the thing I find on the beach. No.
Right. What about I guess ice is water. Or like wind. I know they had a spinny wind thing.
Yeah, you had like the little.
Right.
Yeah, you had the little wind thing that you could like glide on.
Right.
But you didn't. But I guess that was in. They used wind a lot in one of the older. Did you ever hear of Wind Waker?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
It's like the one everything's like a cartoon sort of. And
like
a cute little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that they really pushed it because they gave him like a little baton and he would like. He makes a little he waves it around and makes the wind happen.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so I think that's they pulled their guns on the wind. So they're like, oh crap, we used that sand.
Yeah, sand. Obviously,
they found like the interns like think of something top of your head. And he just said sand, and he's like, damn it, you have to commit to it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that minigame too of the My, but I was a really big. Sometimes I really like playing the actual as far as like mini games, like at the little contest things. They had the one where you would try to dodge the chocobos.
Oh,
not the chocobo. I'm getting my fictional chickens mixed up. The little the chocos that fly around. I just like
I didn't play any of. I tried to play the one where you have like 30 seconds to get as many rupees as possible, but they don't give you the time. You have to like guesstimate. And I sucked at that. So I stopped playing those competition-y mini games.
Yeah.
I'm not good at this.
I feel like in every game I've played, the ones that involve like collecting money is just difficult. Yeah. I don't know if it's just like the developers did like the cash, inside the little phone booth, like try to grab the $100 bills, and they just all lost. So they took out their revenge. Like, see, this is really difficult, right? I should have won more.
Yeah, it is every time you have to collect money. It's really some sad person's failure.
They're just taking out on you. That's not right. Take up your concerns with the casino, sir.
Right? Or stop gambling.
Or stop gambling. that too. I mean, Pokemon learned that lesson. They used to have all that. Now it's non-existent.
Yeah.
They learned their lesson. They figured out the winning moves not to play. But these guys at Nintendo, that's at the Zelda group, they won't stop.
They're in the haze of
they want those rubies. I got it this time. Give me one more chance.
Isn't that what insanity is? Doing the same thing and expecting different results. I feel like that.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Poor Link. Can never get that winning. He can never have his lucky day.
Right. Well, and you wanted money too. That was the thing. And I don't know how the other games are, but like, because you have to rent or buy everything you need.
That's right. That is actually a new feature with this one. Okay. Because I think it was a part of a move to make it easier for portable play. So you can just, I don't know because for this game they really push like, hey, you can do it any order you want.
Yeah.
So that's why they kind of push like, oh, you can rent these things, so if you die, they'll come back and you can maybe just try a different dungeon.
My brain totally does not work like that. My brain was like, I failed at this dungeon. Now I have to go back to the house and I have to get the item and then I have to go back to that dungeon and do it all over again.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's just human nature. Like when you fail at something, it's like, no, I can do this. I can do. You see, it's just like the little coin collecting game. It's like the casino. It all goes back to that. It's like I can do it this time. It's this freaking sand wand. Right. It's terrible.
Right.
Yeah, it's.
But then when you died and you hadn't bought it and it went back to the house, that I got so frustrated every time it would do that. It's like, I just want it. I just want to have.
I just want like I think his name was like Ravio. No, yeah, Ravio. He reminded me. He's designed after like a Mario character from like one of the newer ones. His name was like Nabbit. He's like a little purple rabbit who like tries to steal things from you and your money and runs away. But I always got him mixed up. I always kept calling him Norbit, like the Eddie Murphy. So I kept calling this guy in Zelda just Norbit. Just like, Norbit's stealing my money again.
Yeah, I just called him that dude. I didn't even remember his name.
Yeah.
So at least you gave him a name.
Cheap asshole. That's his
Yeah,
name.
exactly.
Because all he does is, I mean, there's a plot-related reason why he wants all the money, I guess. But,
right.
I mean, we can reveal it. You already talked about it. He's alternate Link.
I did, which I totally didn't get until Peter was like, yeah, he's supposed to be the alternate Link. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Because at least like you can kind of get with like the other from Princess Hilda.
Oh,
from
totally.
Low Rule, because
right.
Yeah. You can get that, but it's like, Ravio at Link?
Right.
No?
Right, exactly.
It's like, how does that work? I don't know, maybe if they called them like Stink.
Right, or like Chain. Or
yes, something just alternate version, not just, that's Ravio.
Right, a totally new name.
That's like a name you give to a Mario character. You just find that's Ravio. That's Ravio right over there,
I feel like maybe Ravio is Link in a different language.
It be that would be clever, which is why I wouldn't get that. I don't know. If it's too smart for me like that, I tend to miss. Sometimes I miss puns so easily. I mean, unless they're like really obvious, like Low Rule.
Oh yeah.
Like that's that. I mean, if you didn't get that, I mean, oh well.
I got that one instantly. I was like, oh, hot. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was more memorable than because they did the alternate worlds thing too in A Link to the Past, and the difference is I don't remember actually the name of the alternate world. I just remember you turn into like a bunny at first.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe that's like the connection with Ravio too. Is like he's kind of like a rabbit. You turn into a rabbit. But you're like a pink rabbit. He's purple, so I don't know. I never actually finished A Link to these SNES one. I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope. So maybe if it was on the 3DS, I would have stuck through it. But with this, it was, I don't know, it was more fun for me.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I really liked that you got between the worlds through the cracks in the wall.
Yeah, the painting stuff.
Yeah, that whole thing was so fun because it was like you'd be places and you're like, if I merge into the wall here, where can I go? Maybe I'll just fall out of the wall into the, lava or rocks or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes it pays off.
It does. It's in like, it was a neat little exploring like gimmick, like mechanic, but I also I really like just the drawing of Link. He's like a little doodle.
Yeah. The style was super super cool when they were all the different paintings. I thought the painting stuff was really neat. And like the last boss, the pig dude, whatever, Yuga,
who like fused with Ganon.
Yeah. He turns into the painting, and you have to like get him out of the wall. I really like how they made him painting style.
Yeah, like I
Super
like how you basically have like a caveman picture fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome.
It's a neat trick. It also, for some reason, I don't know if it was just because of like the game reconnection, I had a brief like flashback to like the Page Master when like Macaulay Culkin like turned into like the drawing, and the first thing he says like, "I'm a cartoon," and the wizard's like, "No, you're an illustration."
I totally forgot about that movie. Oh, I love that movie.
Page Master.
It's so bad, but it's also
it's so
good.
bad. But I have like a font. Any type of like Macaulay Culkin movie that's not Home Alone, I'm always just interested in it.
Yes,
like the one where he's like he's like a Damien character like from The Omen, where he like is like really smart, tries to kill people because his mom's befriending like their stepson, whatever, more than him.
Ugh.
It's like a weird, creepy movie, but it was so weird how they chose like the precious Home Alone kid to be murdered kid.
Right?
Yeah. Of course, but kind of going from like that Page Master connection. I know you were you compared was it the Golden Compass, right, in your episode with Game and Read? But I was wondering though if while you're playing the game, if you've noticed any other kind of books that kind of caught your eye that maybe reminded you of Zelda or some of its aspects.
You know, I was thinking about that, and I don't know. The first thing I think of is his Dark Materials trilogy. So,
right.
So Peter read the Golden Compass, which is the first one, but and I think we talked about the video, so it's not spoiler alert.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But they don't actually leave their dimension until like the last page of the book.
Yeah.
So when I was playing the game, I was totally thinking about later in that trilogy where they are having to cross through the different dimensions and different worlds through these like tears in the universe.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of another book, one that I love, that I always think of when I think about time travel-y, alternate universe-y stuff, is Stephen King's 11/22/63.
Right.
That, because the character there's a door in his world that when he walks through it, he ends up in 1963, and he's tasked to stop the Kennedy assassination.
That's right.
Right, so that's a connection that I made as I was playing it, because it's this whole, enter into the other alternate kind of universe, past alternate universe. That's right. So that's one that I think has the similar elements to some of the world crossy stuff.
Yeah. When I was trying to think of this question too, and my immediate like thought is to try to think of adventure books for young adults to try to see if there's, because some of them make use of like an alternate dimension, like sometimes it's overlooked, but it's like Harry Potter has kind of that wizard dimension, where some things don't work like in the wizard dimension and compared to like the human world, and some things like the rules are different. That's the type and there's that. There is A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh yeah,
that's right, where they travel to that kind of alternate dimension.
And A Lion, a Witch, and a Wardrobe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I feel like Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe might be a closer connection as far as they're trying to save this alternate world, and sometime, but I'm like they stay there for a while before going. Link doesn't like grow up to be a full grown man. That's only in the N64 Ocarina of Time. He grows up while time traveling.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Play that now, because that sounds bizarre and fascinating.
because also like the media connections, like with the sword, like King Arthur's like the Sword and the Stone type of deal. Because that immediately reminded me like the Master Sword, as far as just pulling out the ultimate magic sword that will kill all the bad guys.
Right.
And you have to return it, once the hero's gone, whatever. So I mean that's the immediate assumption, but as far as trying to find like a closer kind of tale, at least as far as its adventuring thing, sometimes I think about just like Tolkien adventure style.
Yeah.
Really more of like when I try to like as far as a single perspective, like The Hobbit, as
That
far yeah.
I totally thought about The Hobbit too. The unlikely character
Mm-hmm.
that ends up playing this insanely crucial role in the survival of the, world or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah. The Hobbit is totally on that same vein.
And they both make, and I feel like both The Hobbit and like this game and some of the other Zelda games, they make use of like pointing out all these different sort of races that exist in the world. So
Yeah.
like you have kind of the Link himself. They kind of mix around in some of these games. What kind of character? Like, is he an elf or not? They have like they're
Oh.
called like Hyrulean. That's like because they live in Hyrule. So
Right.
that's kind of like their term for here is elf race. They're all
Ah.
elves, but humanist, I guess. But you have more of an elf. They remind me more of elves. The Zora, the at least in some, not in this game, but in
Uh-huh.
other games, they look more pretty.
Ah.
So they have like kind of they're blue, but they have kind of they remind me of at least in their physique like of an elf like thing like from Tolkien. But
Yeah,
I'm trying to
Zelda,
think.
the princess Zelda, right? I always think I've assumed that she was an elf.
Yeah, she has
Whereas
like.
Link, I think I always assumed he was just a dude, but
I mean, it makes sense because he's the quirky. I mean, he's just the unlikely hero, so it makes sense
right,
to assume here's the human guy who.
right, or like the sad elf who's more human than elf.
Yeah, he's like you were born an elf, but they just assume you're like wearing fake ears or
Right.
something.
It's like the opposite of the movie Elf.
Yeah, that's
Where he's a
right.
human but raised as an elf. Link is just an elf that's sad and raised as a human. I don't know.
The funny thing is they kind of play on that Ocarina of Time too because you grew up like in a little like a fake everyone's like a child forever land that's
Aw.
starting out and they're like, oh, you're not really one of us, you're a Hyrulean. So it's
There you
like
go. Maybe the creators of Elf were this related to or incredibly inspired by
the Legend
that
of
Zelda
Zelda.
game.
That would be, I don't know. I would love to see like Will Ferrell be Link in a game.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
It would just be like a weirdly like a comedy game of just him like going, oh god, I have to get all the Triforce. No, can I not?
I would play that game so many times.
That'd be really
Over and
neat.
over.
Yeah, that'd be the one game I'd be okay with, like everyone talking for real.
Yes.
Because that's like one thing in the series they try to keep the staple of like, oh, no one talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I personally I don't know, I'd rather read the text in many cases than listen to it because then I'm able, sometimes when I am just hearing it and not reading it, I zone out. And so then I'm like, oh, I just missed a crucial part of, where I'm supposed to go next. So I liked reading it. That was a nice part that I could go, okay, let me make sure I know what I'm doing.
I think it's also just because I like reading, so it's just, it goes
me
like,
too.
oh, wow, this is like reading a book. Cool.
Exactly. I know. And it makes it a little more, I pay more attention to the story aspect.
Exactly.
And I'm having to read it rather than listen to it. So I liked that part.
Yeah. I'd be perfectly okay if they never make this like voice acted. Just keep it in text form or, people kind of sometimes try to say like games sometimes tell their story through their gameplay. And that's kind of true as far as like how far he goes with like turning into a drawing and going around. But I still appreciate just the text stuff. I like imagining voices for them though, even though they have like a little sound clip for each person. But who would you cast as the characters? Did you have like a voice in your head for?
Link, I imagine just as a like generic like 17-year-old dude. I don't know why. I don't know. I think I see his voice to me is like past puberty, but if I was imagining him / looking at him on the screen, he's not past puberty. So I don't know.
He's like still going through the stages. He's got voice cracking.
Yeah. I totally imagined Liv Tyler as Zelda, mostly because she played an elf in in the Elf Queen or whatever, right? In
Right.
Lord of the Rings. So
Mhm.
maybe that's why. But I could totally see her playing that character.
Yeah. Did you
And
imagine anyone for
say,
Yuga?
oh, I don't know. I hated Yuga. I first thought it was a woman because it whatever has got what looked like ringlets, which I associated with like a woman, and that's not. So when I found out it was a dude, I was very thrown off. I didn't know what to think anymore. It's like, I don't know who this is. I give up. I'm just gonna kill him. Pretty much. Which it would have been more. I don't know. I think it would have been really interesting if Yuga had been a woman or a female character, because I think that would sort of added an interesting twist. Like if Yuga was actually Princess Hilda's, estranged mother who had gone evil or something.
Like if Yuga wasn't just Rando who.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been neat. Yeah, that would have actually been kind of cool.
Because when I was thinking about like the link to the Golden Compass, I was thinking about the figure of Miss Coulter, and she's this really diabolical woman who is pulling all these strings, and it would have been really interesting and kind of crazy if Yuga, that figure in Link, had been kind of this evil mastermind, even though Hilda sort of turns out to be the evil mastermind, except then she
that didn't work out too well for her. She
was not a very smart mastermind.
No, she could have done a little more planning. I was like, the wild card that turns people to paintings. What should I get something that prevents me being a painting? Nah.
Right, exactly.
Nah, I got this.
Not
and
important.
She don't got this, so. I mean, I was surprised by the twist of her just like being bad. At least I have to give them props for that, because I'm typically Zelda plots. I don't really think of them as being like all that complex.
Mm-hmm.
It's like at least compared to say some of the young adult stuff we talked about earlier. It's straightforward. Here's the big pig man. He is the bad guy.
Right.
I have my master sword. I have a bunch of hearts. I hit the pig. Pig dies. Everyone gives me the victory. Hooray! Whatever. Those are Zelda games. I feel like they're like fictional like stories.
Right.
So I guess I could see that sort of connection as far as story, like actual novel, like old fairy tales.
Yeah.
Because they're going for that, like if the kidnapped princess is taken away by, instead of dragons, Pigman.
Right, and that totally fits the aesthetic too of the kind of medievally forest journey, little creatures. I mean, the fairies that heal your hearts or whatever.
That's
that
right.
Whole idea. So that totally, I can totally see that link and connection to the whole fairy tale, old stories that Hans Andersen, right? Those kind of creepy.
That's right.
Fairy tales, maybe.
I know there was like I'm forgetting the name of the movie at the moment, but I remember finding out some trivia. There's like a movie in the 80s where it had like a guy like fighting a sword, and there was like a villain who was basically like the devil. Ooh. I don't know if you've seen this movie or know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
I think it was called like Legend. Do you know? Have you heard of that movie at all?
It sounds like what you're describing sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's really. I saw this like all the way back in 8th grade, and my teacher's like, "Oh, by the way, Legend of Zelda was inspired by this." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Ah.
So I thought that was I was like, "Hold the phone." What?
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat just seeing just the trails of this fairy tales led to an 80s movie, which then led to Zelda. So I'm trying to think of just like maybe many years from now, like the alternative to having like old literature to inspire stories, we'll have 80s movies inspire video games. Gosh. Like maybe in the future we'll have like a Breakfast Club inspired video game.
I would totally be down for that. I love Breakfast Club. It's a great movie. I'd
Just
play that game.
yeah, you have to escape from like the evil detention dungeon.
Yes, that would be perfect.
That would be rad. Yeah, we just video game Hollywood. We need more '80s video game inspirations. Go for it.
Yes, please.
Go for it. What is your favorite '80s? Is Breakfast Club your favorite '80s movie?
Breakfast Club might be Breakfast Club, or I really love Heathers.
Oh,
That's
that's
such a
good.
great movie, but mostly because I really love Mean Girls.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I had watched Mean Girls, a million times, and then I watched Heathers, and I was like, this is like Mean Girls, but with better hair and more
Yeah.
ridiculous plots. But so those two movies, I love them
Yeah,
a lot.
my favorite '80s movie, which is also my absolute favorite movie, is The Goonies.
Oh, that is a good one.
I'm in love with like this weird cast of characters. I'm in love with Sloth. Sloth was Sloth may be one of my favorite like film side characters as far as like how he's shown and how he works as a character.
Yeah.
He's the best. I think Ravio should take some notes from Sloth on how to be a good companion.
That would be awesome.
I wish Ravio showed up like during the fight and not just like after it ended. Like,
Right?
oh hey
You
hey guys, what happened?
Right. It would have been so much better if he had you would have defeated you once, and that wouldn't have been enough or whatever. So you'd have the cutscene thing, and then Ravio shows up and he helps you out, and you do it together. That would have been perfect.
Yeah,
That
what
would
if
have
he
an
used,
extra
like-
twist on top of the twist.
Yeah, what if he had like used all because he showed up like all his rubies, whatever. It's like it'd be neat if he actually like used them like during the fight.
Oh, that would be legit.
Yeah, just I'm always a fan of just having like a tag team like at the end. Those are always really in anything like a book, a movie, like any form of media. I like it. I like a good like solo last man standing sort of thing, but at the same time, groups of people fighting are fun.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know. Yeah.
I love when you see a character and then you think that they're gone and then they come back at the very last
Yes.
second to help the main character save the whatever. That's the best. I love that because it's so exciting when you're like, he's back. He didn't actually abandon them.
Yeah, that's right. But in this case, Ravio did abandon you.
Yeah, right.
He was counting his dollars.
Yeah.
He
Peace
actually
out.
wanted the casino. He's in charge of the casino.
Exactly.
That's the ultimate analogy. It's just at the very end, the casino guys, when you're successful, they come back. Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah. He wanted to make sure you won before
Yeah,
coming
he was
back.
making sure you were not doing anything else before like finishing. Like, you sure? One more slot? No. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Although in this case, you basically like buy the slots like after renting them. He
Yes.
basically makes you buy the casino.
Right? And you had to because otherwise every time you die, you get sent back. You have to go back to the house, rent the items, blah blah blah. It
Yeah.
costs so much money.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I got everything at the end. Like as far as buying it, I don't remember if I upgraded everything.
Yeah, I think I bought everything. I upgraded the stuff I upgraded the fire and the ice and the hook shot thingy mabobber.
That's right, the hook shot.
Yeah, though I couldn't tell what the upgrades did. I just kept.
I knew with the bow, like it made like 3 arrows at once, which is like that's really cool. I like that.
It's cool. I
I
must have not upgraded the bow.
Yeah, I did like how some of the I don't know if I can't remember if it was for every upgrade, but I liked how some of them was like, this is the nice bow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
always appreciate that.
I just like to imagine this Link buying it and he just goes, nice. Nice.
that would be the perfect every time you got something nice. That would be the one little piece of vocal I would want to hear in my ears.
Just a little something. Just like a little chip tune. Nice.
Exactly. Yes.
Or just Ravio shows up in the corner, does like a thumbs up.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Just I'm just imagining all these moments where Ravio could have been like cool, but
Right.
he drops the ball, which I guess is why he's the alternate Link, where he's
Right.
instead of being this cool guy, he's the ultimate letdown.
Oh, that's sad but true.
Yeah, it's just everywhere he goes, he's like, "Hey, you want to spend more money?"
Yeah. While I sit in my shop and not do anything.
It's like I'm
Even
imagining
Vincent.
like the cell phone version of this game where it's like you have to pay like with real money to get all the real
Oh,
items.
that would totally be what would happen if this was an app.
Yeah, if
You'd
it
have to
was
pay
like
99 cents to get 12 gold bars to buy the whatever.
yeah, like Legend of Zelda Crush,
Yeah.
just like, oh, you didn't solve this puzzle fast enough. Would you like to pay $20 to
Or
get
wait
this
for 3
exclusive
hours.
hookshot?
Yeah.
It's called Nice.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh, he's ultimate letdown. So sad. So sad. But I feel like that's. I'm not sure what else like we can really say about the game. Is there anything else that comes to mind about the Link Between Worlds that you can think of as far as anything you liked, didn't like, or?
I don't know. I was overall really pleased with the game. It was one of those I'm like, that's really fun.
Yeah.
There were a couple of times the weird they were the weird green people that the queen or whatever is bloated the first time
The
you
Zora.
Yeah, the Zora. Those fuckers you can't kill them when they're in the water and you're swimming. They just firebomb you. So that was really annoying. I don't think I talked about that in the drunk cast, but like that was really annoying. I was very frustrated with that.
Yeah, it's the same thing for like the for like the Super Nintendo one I remember because it's like when you can't swim yet, you didn't do your swimming lessons yet, so they just shoot fire and they're just annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just another lesson like they're doing like with just like the scene is like you learn to swim
right
or else.
Right? Exactly. Maybe that's it. Swimming.
Yeah, it was also just kind of weird for me because, like I said, I grew up mainly with the pretty versions of the Zora, the beautiful blue people, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like when I see these things, like, oh God, what happened?
Right. Exactly.
It's like, oh, what curse made you look like this? Oh no.
Yep. No, but overall, it was super fun. Super fun game. I would definitely play another Zelda game. It's on my list.
Do you have one in particular you know of, or is it just any Zelda?
At this point, any Zelda. Majora's Mask has been thrown around. People have talked about that one.
Yeah, it's my personal favorite, but there's another handheld one that I really like a lot that I think you might like. It's called the Minish Cap.
That's the other one. I was like, I know it sounds like a mushroom, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there are a lot of mushrooms in that game, so I just because it has another neat concept where you sort of go to another world, but it's really you just get really, really small.
Ooh.
So it's like a Honey I Shrunk the Zelda.
I was just gonna ask, is it like Honey I Shrunk the Kids? But
I mean, kind of like a wizard. It's kind of like in this game where it's like a wizard tries to make you mess up, but actually gives you a huge advantage.
Ah.
It's like I'm pretty sure he's the one that I can't remember if the wizard. It's a different wizard in this one. His name is Vati.
Oh.
You see, Ganon is not even in this one. It's this wizard dude.
Right.
So it's like he I don't know, I can't remember if it's him or I can't remember if it's the hat you wear because your hat talks in this game. Yeah, your hat is like a bird and a hat together.
So great already.
Yeah, so it's like I can't remember if it's your hat or the wizard that like does it first and then you're able to switch between. You like get a little stump of a tree and you just go you do a little like song thing and you turn really super small.
That's awesome.
Like,
maybe I'll have to play that then.
Because there's neat parts, like there's some parts where it's actually like zooms in all the way on you when you're like in the grass and walking around. And then sometimes you just get like a really tiny, you can see the little tiny you just walking around.
That is super awesome. That's going on my list.
I think you'd really like that. It's also, I think it's much shorter than Link Between Worlds. So I think it lends itself to like a quick playthrough.
Oh, nice.
So you don't feel quite as pressured. It's not quite as open though as Link Between Worlds though. That's the kind of thing that people liked about Link Between Worlds that you could do it in any order. This is like nope. Stick to the formula. So
I don't know. That's not always the worst.
yeah, that's not always the. I do agree on that. Like
Yeah.
sometimes something being closed works better. Like there's a
Yeah.
reason why not every book's a choose your own adventure.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
I mean, I do like some of them. Like
Yeah.
I remember reading like a lot of the Goosebumps choose your own adventure.
Oh gosh, yes.
I liked those, but I just liked the standard ones more
Yes.
because I don't know. I have not read anything by R.L. Stine in years. The
Oh,
only time
man.
I've really I haven't even seen. I had no interest in his new movie, whatever. But I remember there's like a YouTube thing where it has like when they had the Goosebumps TV show.
Mhm.
Sometimes he would introduce like the show by going, "Hello, I'm R.L. Stine. I wrote the Goosebumps books." He says in this chirpy manner, and surrounded by this horror area like around him, and he's so chip's like, "Hello, hi, I'm the author of this horror landscape."
Right. I went to a book signing by R.L. Stine once. He is a creepy dude.
Yeah.
That. I mean, he has to be because he wrote all that, but man,
I mean, he did a great job of just making these creepy stuff, but it's like, based on that Goosebumps intros he does, I'm just like, you're too excited.
Yes, exactly.
It's like you don't want to be invited like to his house, like, hello, I'm R.L. Stine. Come right into my chamber.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure his house is probably like a Zelda dungeon.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, it'll have like all the classic. It'll have the Slappy Dummy and the. I can't remember what else.
It's got the eyeballs that you have to like go find the eyeball.
That's right.
When that is, those are his lamps.
Those would be his. Just and you instead of like potions, you'd have like the green goop.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would be so. That sounds. I just think about that. That's so gross.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So sorry I put that image in your head, and everyone listening, I apologize, but I mean that's true. That worked to his advantage.
It did.
I'd be interested like in a horror Zelda game.
That would be pretty exciting.
Yeah, just get R.L. Stine. Just get him there. Just
get R.L. Stine to write the next Zelda game.
Yeah, he'll write the next Zelda game.
Can we do a Kickstarter for that?
I don't know if that'd be possible. I would just a change.com petition to get him to be interested. And
yes.
Then I just want him to write the game so that the game will just start with him just going, "Hello, I'm R.L. Stine. I wrote the Zelda game."
Enjoy.
I hope you enjoy.
Yes.
He just sits down and he just waits for you to press start.
That would be so perfect.
I just want something like that. Because that'd be neat. That'd be neat. Everyone always talks about having all these movie people work on games. We need more authors.
Oh, totally.
Just start with R.L. Stine and we'll work from there.
Because you can only go up if
exactly.
R.L. Stine writes a video game. There's no way to go but up.
Yeah, really though. Like I can't imagine like just going no. We need to go down.
Yeah.
It's like I need you to like look through fanfiction.com.
Yes.
Although really some of that stuff is just too good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, oh wait a minute. Let's R.L. Stine has some competition on fanfiction.com.
Right. I think so.
Yeah. But if I don't think I have anything else to bring out. Is there I know you may have a perfect idea for this. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, we already talked about it, but Peter, who was on the first episode?
He was the very first
one. He and I do I guess it's a video series called Game and Read, where I play a game and he reads a book, and they are connected on a theme. So all of our videos and other fun content stuff is over at gameandread.com. So check us out. It's exciting. We're on kind of a weird schedule with the holidays, but we already have, I think we have 5 or 6 episodes up. So there's plenty to watch until we start with our next one which is going to be Broken Age and Trillium by Jeff Lemire.
Great! I've experienced both of those. So
yeah, so look forward to that episode coming up in the next week or so. So
okay, yeah, and if you're interested, as always, you can find me at Hendrickstrong on Twitter. Do you want to share your Twitter? Or are you fine?
Oh
with that?
yeah, sure. I'm at Emerch, EMURCH.
Cool. So you can find both of us on Twitter. If listeners at home, if you're maybe interested in joining on the show, or want to do a drunk retelling, or just want to say hi, just go to my Twitter at Hendrickstrog, or maybe we'll talk about it. So or maybe just share your complaints, your compliments, preferably compliments, but whatever works. We'll do that. We'll have some fun there. But if nothing else can be said, that'd be the end of episode 3 of Drunk Game Retellings, and
Woohoo!
Time for the music cue.
Yo, guess what? No more content. That's right. The podcast. It's over. Turning this off. Time to go. Oh, well, I guess that's it then for all the drums. Well, thank you all for listening in. It's been fun, but oh, there's still some drums left. Okay, let's listen in. I think there's one more drum left. Right here. Cool. Bye.